प्रणाम गुरुजी।
ओम श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शंकरं लोकशंकरं शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि
ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि
वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमतो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि
वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि
सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम्
सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम्
माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम्
माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम्
मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत्
मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत्
अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु।
अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु।
तदात्मनि निरते य उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु
तदात्मनि निरते य उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु
ते मयि सन्तु।
ते मयि सन्तु।
शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Sometimes one may wonder, why is it that most people do not show interest in knowing their reality? It's not that they know, it's not that they don't know that many of the conclusions they have reached may not be correct. And yet, this urge to go and find out the truth is very limited, very few people. In fact, each one of us can examine what happened is, how did the transformation take place from the time when we did not know anything about moksha or adhyatma study or Upanishads or Vedas. What brought each one of us into this study? Each one can examine for himself or herself what changed. If you look at the world around us, there are many factors, including the fact that being born in this country where we have access to this knowledge, we have been systematically weaned away, not even weaned away, forcefully taken away from this. That's one part of it. It continues to happen. People who do not understand push us into saying that what I tell you is rational, scientific. All this that you hear in this in the strange language called Sanskritam is superstition, mumbo jumbo. It has no meaning. And we have, over a period of centuries, many have lost. There is, fortunately for us, remnants of this respect for the fact that the rishis knew something that I don't. What they knew, I have no idea. Most people have no idea what the rishis knew. But they knew that they knew something. It was ingrained in our lifestyle forever. So forget about other people who had no access to this knowledge. Even in India, we've lost it to a large extent. And in current day terminology, two phrases probably stand out. Instant results, instant gratification. I want my result now. So everybody is hurrying, running. New York and Bombay are probably two classic examples of that. All the time you see people walking so fast, trying to get somewhere, not knowing where they're going. And the second thing that strikes is this is at best uncertain. What am I going to gain by learning this, by understanding this? What they don't recognize is that what we're learning is the truth, and that's the search all humanity has. What is the truth? What changes? What brought you into the study? What brought each one of us into the study? Clearly, there is Ishvara Anugraham. Without Ishvara Anugraham, it's not going to happen. There are a lot of other factors that we take. We take steps. We get queries in the mind. We go and ask. We try to find out. But without Bhagavan's Anugraham, nothing is going to happen. How do I get Bhagavan's Anugraham? Why? Sure, I do everything. I do my morning prayers. I ask Bhagavan, please Allah, help me understand the truth. Shankaracharya picked three things. Durlabham trayam etat, trayameva etat, daivanugraham. What are they? Manushyatvam, mumukshutvam, and Mahapurusha Satsanga. Manushyatvam is the recognition that I don't want to get hurt in any way, which every being recognizes, whether it's an ant or an elephant or a tiger, or every being recognizes, I don't want to get hurt, I want to survive. But Manushyatvam implies, I also recognize that every other being also doesn't want to get hurt. So if you apply only half of that knowledge, I don't want to get hurt, you are not behaving with Manushyatvam. So Manushyatvam implies a certain amount of thinking and understanding. Not that somebody has to teach you. It's automatic. We know. Mukshutvam is clearly something which only Manushya can get. What is Mumukshutvam? Recognition of the fact that there is something bigger than anything I can get here. You all heard, studied Pariksha Lokan Karmachatan Brahmana Nirveda Maya Nakrat Katena. You are not going to gain that something which is much bigger than anything that I know or can get, because by doing, I'm not going to get it. That initial recognition of that something big, something much bigger, is the start of the inquiry of the Mumukshu. Each one of us has gone through it in some fashion. And that inquiry and Ishvara Anugraham in the form of Punya has brought us to the study. And the third thing Adi Shankara says is Mahapurusha Sangatva. We meet people, lots of people in our lives. And at different points in our life, we might discuss different kind of things. Movies, entertainment, sports, politics, fine dining. Because different people have different types of interest. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But when Adi Shankara says Mahapurusha Sangatvam, is to be in the company of others who have said the same thing that you have said. That there is something much bigger than all of these. Politics or sports or world war or whatever else. And have given a lot of thought to all of that. Have made serious inquiries and to find out what it is. The Sangha with those people is the third factor that Adi Shankaracharya identifies. I don't know how many of you have experienced, but in time, when you get deeper and deeper into the study, you will find that other subjects do not grip you any longer. You can, for conversation's sake, hold a conversation on books or movies or whatever else for a while. But everything really boils down to this one yanam. Why? You take any one word which apparently is a subject matter of something, nature, climate change, anything, and you discuss it deeply enough, it has to land in Brahmagyanam. So other conversation remains superficial. But when you go deeper into that, it has to end in Brahmagyanam, Atmagyanam. That's why my favorite dictum is, please examine the biggest brains in the world. Almost all of them, towards the latter part of their life, have sought out the answer in Shastra, some form. Looked for a guru. I did a little bit of exercise with Nobel Prize winners. It's a fact that significantly large proportion of them, towards the latter part of their life, start looking at the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita. Few exceptions. Stephen Hawking comes to mind immediately. But most of them will go there. But from there, what happens? Where do they actually go? Do they learn? Do they understand? Do they gain moksha? Depends. This is where our own punya comes into play. Our punya earned earlier and the punya that we continue to earn because we are a human being. And we have the capacity to do karma and gain karma phala in the form of chitta shuddhi and chitta naishalyam. A mind uncluttered by all externals, driven by raga and dvesha, and a mind which has the ability to focus and stay focused on this quest for longer and longer and longer periods. We have to live in this world. We have to interact with this world. If you have to go make an earning to feed yourself and the family, you have to do it. So, but everything, when you see the presence of Ishvara, we earn Ishvara Anugraha. That pulls us towards the truth available only in the Upanishads. Nowhere else. Every other text, including the Karma Kanda, only tells us what to do and what not to do. It doesn't even tell us why. It tells us to the extent saying, if you do this, you will gain lokas which are pleasant. Very little more than that. So they don't give you an answer to this question of reality. That is available only in the Upanishads. The very word Upanishad has the answer there. Many of you already know because we do this several times, but it's worth knowing again and again. Some of you who are new may not realize. The word Upanishad itself has the answer. Why do I say the answer is available only in the Upanishad? What is an Upanishad? Again, thanks to Adi Shankara, we have a clear, easy derivation of the word Upanishad. In the beauty of the Sanskritam languages, every single word can be derived from a base of about 2000 root words called dhatus. They're not root word, they're roots. They never get used as a word. But from that root, you can derive every word that is in Sanskrit. In fact, you can continue to keep deriving new words. And the word Upanishad also has been derived like that. You take a root word called dhatu. You add some prefix or some suffix to give it meaning. Each becomes a meaningful word. Till then, a dhatu is not something which you can use in language. So when you look at a word, bhavati, the mind should look at saying, what is the root from which this has come?
Wow.
The very first dhatu, bhu, sattayam, being. From there you get bhavati. And the rules, grammar rules, which derive bhavati, and the meaning is very clear. This is why in Sanskritam you cannot have a complete dictionary. So you can keep deriving words. So when you look at the word Upanishad, one has to start looking and saying, what is the dhatu from which this word has been derived? For which we need to know dhatus. Fortunately, we are not in that era where we had to know the dhatu pata, all the dhatus by heart. Today, we are living in a situation where we know where to go and find it. Available on your mobile phone. It's available in books. When I went to college first, I think early part when we started first, within the first few months, my physics professor came to the class and said, we will not teach you anything. We will not teach you physics. I was shocked. I'm sitting in one of the premier colleges in the country, perhaps in the world. And the professor comes and says, we will not teach you the subject. And he says, but we will teach you where to go and find all the answers. The method by which you find the answers. So for every hour of class you attend, you will have to attend something like, you'll have to spend at least 3 hours in the library. Those days we didn't have all these facilities of everything available on a mobile phone. We had to go to the library and search and find out. We didn't have a Google, we didn't have AI, we had to go and find out. That is exactly what I'm saying. That Upanishad Shabda can be derived from its root, the dhatu, and for that we have a lot of age. Find out what the dhatu is. In fact, if you look at this Sanskrit dictionary, most good dictionaries will tell you, you look at the word Upanishad, it will tell you, having given the meaning, it is Upa Ni Shad. And once you look at that, Shad is the root with 2 prefixes. This is available in the dictionary. So you go to another available source, one which is very good, is available on your mobile phone. It's called ashtadhyayi.com. You can get Dhatu Pata, Sutra Pata, Shabda, everything is there. So if you go look at the Dhatu Pata and look for this Shabda, the Dhatu called Shad, it will tell you it is not Shad, it is Shadil. That is again Panini's way of doing these things. But the R goes away, it becomes Shad. And that word, Dhatu Shad, not a word, has 3 meanings. Visharane, weakening or removing. Gamana, going in the sense of knowing. In many places we use the verb to go to express, to know, to gain. And the third meaning, Visharane, Gamane, and Visharane, Gamane, Avasadhane. Avasadhane, which implies remove the very root, very cause itself of whatever it is that we're searching. From the mula itself, it removes. Those are the 3 meanings. Now, immediately the question is, what do we want to know, Gamanam, what do we want to weaken, and what do we want to remove from the root. Look at that. We want to gain the knowledge of the self. So that which gives you the knowledge of the self is represented by the word Upanishad. And what is the weaken? It weakens all that prevents you from gaining that knowledge. Samsara. And what is it that you want to remove from its very root, very, very moola? Where does samsara come from? The whole thing starts with ajnanam. That which removes that, and then all that follows from there. Ajnanam, kama, karma, karma phala, janma, sharira, everything that follows. How do they remove them? By the moola, which is ajnanam. So, the three meanings of the word shadildra, of the root, not word, implies weakening, going or knowing, and removing from the very moola. What do we remove? What is the jnanam we're talking about? The two prefixes, upasarga, tell you that. Upasarga also has a upasarga called upa. Right? Upa means samipe, near. What do you want to know? That which is near to you. What is near to you? Many things. Really near is a relative word. Moon is near compared to many of the stars. No, moon is very far away. No, but compared to stars, moon is near. Compared to the moon, South Africa is near. Compared to South Africa, from where I am sitting, Chennai is near. Compared to Chennai, from where I am sitting, the city center is near. From the city center, compared to that, the main road from here is near. Keep going. What is it that is nearest to me? Near is always also the nearest, okay? You can't have anything nearer than that. That's the only one which does not need a comparative statement. No nearer, it is near. It is I. So that which is the knowledge of I, to gain that knowledge of I through Upanishads, removing all that stops me from gaining that knowledge, taking out all possible causes from the very hetu, very basis from which these come, is called Upanishad. There's also another prefix there, called ni. When you add this prefix to any word, they can either enhance the meaning, change the meaning, or not do anything at all. They can do all sorts of things. There's another one called ni. What does that do? Ni means nishchayena, without any doubt, without any possible confusion. When I gain this knowledge of the self, then the ni implies that. Therefore, Upanishad is that which gives you the knowledge of the self clearly, without any doubts. Vidyate hridaya grantihi chidyante sarva samshaya. No doubts, no non-clarity by Upanishad. That knowledge is called Upanishad. And the Grantha, the book which contains the knowledge, is also called Upanishad. A book on geography, which contains knowledge of geography, is also called geography. The book is also called geography. The knowledge is also called geography or history. The book is also called Upanishad. That which gives you the knowledge of the self without any doubts, without any confusion, and is contained in a book also called Upanishad. We also know that Vedanta, the end of all the Vedas, Vedanam Antaha, is Upanishads. It is what gives you that knowledge. Therefore, one has to go to Vedanta to gain this knowledge. This knowledge, not available anywhere else, can be gained only through the study of Vedanta, of all the Upanishads. There are many such Upanishads. We saw already that there are many Upanishads, of which 10 of them Shankaracharya has written commentary on. This Kena Upanishad is one. They are the ones we normally study because it helps to have Shankaracharya's Bashyam to understand what the intent of the Upanishad is clearly. We study these with Shankara Bhashyam. Kena Upanishad, or combined Kenopanishad, belongs to Samaveda. Earlier we did Kathopanishad, Yajurveda. So those 10 Upanishads for which Shankaracharya decided to write the Bhashyam come from all the 4 Vedas. In fact, all 5, if we take Krishna Yajurveda and Shukla Yajurveda. Kena Upanishad and Chandogya Upanishad are both from Samaveda. And typically, every Upanishad belonging to a certain Veda has its own Shanti Patha, Shanti Mantra, which we always chant before chanting the Upanishad itself. That's why in every class we chant this Shanti Mantra आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक् प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमतो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनिरते य उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु. Simple Shanti Patha. Meaning is not very difficult to figure out. In Atharva Shishya Upanishad, we use Bhadram Karne Vishruniyama Devaha ityadi. All Upanishads have the same message. Samanvaya. There's no difference. Message is what? Very simple message, Tattvamasi. You want to use those words, you want to use some other word, essentially saying that you are everything. That is the only message. This Shanti Patha is chanted as a prayer mainly to make sure that there are no obstacles in the way of our study of the Upanishad. We have to have access to the Upanishad. We have to have the punya to have a guru who is a Shrotriya. Because all Upanishads, in some way or the other, is a dialogue between Shishya and Acharya. The Acharya may be the father, as in the case of Chandogya Upanishad. There may be more than one Shishya, as in the case of Prashna Upanishad. Shishya may be a small child, as in the case of Kathopanishad. Shishya may be a very erudite person, as in the 7th chapter of Chandogya Upanishad. Can be anything. Here also there is a dialogue between Acharya and the Shishya. Before they start the dialogue, before the Shishya asks a question, which is how it typically starts, like we remember Nachiketa asking questions of Yamadharmaraja. We say this prayer, we are making the effort together. Please make sure there are no obstacles on the way. In fact, we use as a general prayer when we chant. May we both have the strength to study together, have the viryam, but never have dispute. Because both Guru and the Shishya want that the Shishya, Guru is not to identify the Shishya as somebody who wants to know. He's come to the Guru and said, I want to know. That's why he's open to teaching the Shishya. This Shanti Patha, we will look at the meaning, simple Shanti Patha. Apyayantu mamangani. Mama angani. Apyayantu. May all my angas be nourished. May all my angas gain strength. Apyayantu is a Pyayi dhatu. I told you everything comes from a dhatu. The Pyayi dhatu, to grow, to nourish. And because we are saying, may these angas grow and be nourished, therefore, lot lakara, pratham purusha bhavachan, apyayantu. Mama angani. Angani is plural. All my angas. May they grow, may they gain strength. Apyayantu mamangani. What are the angas? He lists a few. Walk. May my walk be strong. May I be able to express myself correctly. Prana. My whole life depends on prana. It's also an anga. All the elements of prana. Prana, apana, udana, samana, everything. If my systems don't work, why am I asking for this? Why am I asking apyayantu mamangani? I want to remain healthy. Okay, why? Why do you want to remain healthy? I want to remain, all my anga to remain healthy so that I have no distractions. Vak, prana, chakshu, shotra. Our whole process is Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Unless our angas are in good shape, reasonably good shape, what happens typically, most of us go to this after retirement. Already apakshaya started taking place, hearing is going. Bhagavane, please give me a hearing aid, I can't hear Swamiji. But I want to pray that it lasts long enough for me to gain this jnana. Chakshushotra. Ataha balam. May my limbs not get weakened so much that I can't even go to the class. Nowadays, of course, we all be sitting in front of computers in our own place and doing it, but really speaking, class should mean all the students and the teachers sit together. Or if if there is so much weakness that there's pain, my mind will not be on what the Guru is telling me, but on what is happening to the pain in my back. Shrotra balam indriyani cha. My mind should be solid, well preserved, so that I can do mananam. I can do shravanam, but nothing goes in. I can't question, I can't ask myself. I'm going to have a lot of problems in progression. Indriyani sarvani. Having given a few as an example, the prayer takes on simple this and saying all angas. And what is it that I want to learn? There's a nice phrase here. Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam. Where is this knowledge that Brahman is Sarvam? That's the starting point of our learning. Sarvam Brahma. Remember this, the gradation, the steps which we learned? We first recognize Ishvara in everything. And then recognize that Ishvara is Brahman. Then at the last stage, that Brahman Aham. Ahameva Atma, Ahameva Tadatma Eva Brahman, Tad Brahman Eva Aham. Where do I gain this knowledge? Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam. Only in the Upanishad. That which is available in the Upanishad. Sammanvaya in all the Upanishads, the same message is available, same Tatparyam is available. Upanishad means what? From that Upanishads. Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam. I'm trying to learn with the help of a guru what Upanishad says. And it says there is Brahman, which is Sarvam. Ishvara, which is Sarva Vyapi. Sarvam Tatam. I have not yet come to the stage of understanding that Ishvara is I. So what can happen? It is not clear to me. There cannot be some God. I've been studying for the last 2 years and I can't figure out what this is all about. So I've come to the conclusion there's no God. Finished. He's good. Take a whole cycle back and start all over again. He will. If not in the Janma, next Janma after that. So he lost a lot of forward movement. So he says, may that never happen. Maham Brahma Nirakuryam. May I not reject Brahman. If I don't understand, let me read again, let me think again, let me ask again. The prayer. Because I know this answer is there. I have Shraddha in what the Shastra says, what the Upanishad says, and what the Guru says. So I don't walk off and say, yeah, what is this? I attended 4 classes, nothing came out. I'm still the same person that I was when I started. Maham Brahma Nirakuryam. May I keep consistent commitment to understand. Ma Brahma Nirakuryat. Okay, I'm trying my best to understand this something called Brahman, which because I have Shraddha, I have done a lot of study before I came here. I know there is something there, but I can't figure out what it is. But my mind is still straying all over the place. I can't figure it out. Has God abandoned me? Has God given up on me? I'm trying to understand. I've read about Ananya Bhakti in the Bhagavad Gita. Mattaha anyat na. I can't understand. But I should not give up. Nor should God say, okay, you won't understand, forget it. You go back to your loka. Ma Brahma Nirakuryat. May Brahman not reject me. There are 2 mas. Ma. One is mom, me. Other is may he not reject. May I not discard Brahman and may Ishvara not gave up on me. Mama Brahma Nirakurya. Anirakaranamastvariraakaranam me astu. Anirakaranam. May that strength to stay with the study without giving up, without rejecting, without being rejected. May that be in me. Anirakaranam me astu. May that be in me. May I have the strength. There are sometimes people give up. Even when we were studying, I know few people who came not very well prepared, obviously. And after some time, they went away. Some forces took them away. The forces may have been within themselves, more forces may have been external. But what happens to them? Obviously, they're not going to get the jnanam. Not now. Maybe later. Anirakaranamastve me, anirakaranam me astu. And to do that, I need to be qualified. Why do I give up? Because my qualification is not adequate. I don't have enough shamadama. All those qualities listed in the Bhagavad Gita, I may not have all of them. Amanittam, adammittam, ahimsa, kshanti, rarjavam. Hey Bhagavan, make sure that I have those, so that I'm prepared. I'm an adhikari. All those qualities which are given in the Upanishads as necessary qualities for a mumukshu, necessary qualities for a seeker. May I have them, may I gain them. Tadatmani nirate ya upanishatsu dharmas te mai santu. Dharmaha, all the dharmas, all the values, all the qualities, all the qualifications that are there in the Upanishads listed as needed conditions, necessary conditions for a mumukshu. May that be there. Swamiji used to lay a lot of emphasis on those 2-3 verses in the 13th chapter of the Gita. Every single quality given there, amanitvam, adhambitvam, ahimsa, kshanti, arjavam. Arjavam is a beautiful word. Rijubhavam. Later it is attributed to, I think, Aristotle, if I remember right. But Arjavam, one word, captures this. May my thinking, my action, and my speech be aligned. May I not contradict myself in terms of what I think and what I speak and what I do. I had once gone to meet, along with a friend, I had gone to meet his tenant. And he was talking to the tenant and talking highly about him. I was thinking, very nice. This fellow has a very great high opinion of this tenant of his. And then we came out and he had only negative things to say about his tenant. I said, what happened? Just now, a few minutes ago, you were praising him. Oh, no, that is because I was telling him. But he's not like that. What he was thinking and what he was saying are not matching. Arjava. Like that, each quality we can examine. Amanitva, adambitva, both similar meanings. Not have the damba, pride, I. When it hit me very hard, when I started driving in the UK, I was going to turn into a small lane in the outskirts of London. Turn into the hotel, so I signaled. And there was this German guy sitting with me. And there was another car coming from that side. And he flashed. So I stopped. That is what we do in India, no? If somebody from the other side flashes, the meaning is, get out of my way, I am coming. So I stopped. The German person said, he's telling you to go, why are you stopping? Oh, the very meaning of the way a flash in a car works is so different. When there's a narrowing of the road, for example, many times this happens. Only one car can go. So when you're going, the guy from the other side flashes, I'm coming, you get out of the way. Somewhere this has to come down. Amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa. So all these qualities, including the shamadama, etc., kuparati, titiksha, shraddha, samadhanam, all of them, may I have them, because without them, I am not going to be able to learn anything. I know that to be an adhikari, to know this, I need those qualities. Tadatmani nirate, Upanishadsu, Upanishad including the Bhagavad Gita, it's also an Upanishad. Dharmaha, value systems, te mai santu, may they be in me. And to emphasize that point, te mai santu, may they be there. I recognize that I need to be an adhikari to understand the vivaksha of the Upanishad, not just the words. Tadatmani nirate, ya Upanishadstu dharmas te mai santu, te mai santu. Because it's a very simple prayer. Then it ends up by, with all prayers we do, start with Om, end with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We'll just quickly look at that in the next class and then go on to the Upanishad itself. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om
Shri Guru Hari Om.
हरि ओम। नमस्कार है, धन्यवाद है स्वामी जी।
धन्यवाद।
ओम शांति।